All right, so welcome to the latest edition of the Athlete Spotlight. We have the amazing Autumn Wilburg with us today. She's on her way to the store to get a dress for a presentation. So, we can't stay in the house forever. We got to get outside and get some clothes sometime. So Autumn, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. So just a couple of things about Autumn. Autumn's a track athlete. I'll let her tell you more about that, what events she likes, what events she really excels in. But just a few highlights. In the spring of 2018, Autumn was fifth in the New York Roadrunners United Airlines event. She ran the 1,500 meters. If I get anything wrong, just tell me. That fall of 2018, she was first in the 17 and under age group in the Atlantic Beach 5K, which is not bad considering she was only 12 years old at the time. So that's pretty darn good. Spring of 2019, first in her age group and 86th out of over 1,000 runners in the NYPD Memorial 5K. She's an 8th grader at PSIS 124Q, high 90s average, I'm told. She's taking 2 Regents classes. She's already completed 2 college courses. I don't even know if I could complete a college course at this point, so that's amazing. She's competed nationally in the Harvard Forensics Competition, National Junior Honor Society Outstanding Achievement Award. She's part of the Girl Empowerment Movement, and she's attending the Summer Law Institute. So as you can tell, Autumn's resume isn't just about sports. It's about school and academics and being part of the community and making a difference too. So I think that's really important. So Autumn, tell me how you balance sports with school. Obviously now everything is completely different. Sports is canceled and school is on a computer. But just in general, how have you been able to succeed in keeping both of those things going at a high level?
In general, it really comes down to time management, how you manage your time. And for me, I rely a lot on schedules that tell me what to do. So I have a schedule where, for example, during the quarantine, I wake up in the morning, I exercise, I go on a run because I'm with my grandparents and they have a lot of land, and I run around this trail to get my exercise. I stretch, of course, and then I go straight into class. And then after class, I exercise after class too. I do another run, and then at night I just go on a walk. So it's really about time management and keeping a schedule for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I manage.
That is great. I mean, I think having a schedule and sticking to it is so important, especially now. It's always the case. People are always more successful when they do that, but especially now when everything is different and you're stuck in your house. So, I mean, that's tremendous just to get outside, get your workout in, be consistent with it. I think that's amazing. What are your best distances? Like, what are you most comfortable competing in?
So for me, I'm a mid-distance runner, and surprisingly, my best distance is the 5K, and I'd have to say the mile. I feel that I do better in the 5K because as I get tired in a run, as I get more weary, I somehow get better, and it strengthens my endurance, and I just happen to do better. I don't understand the scientific reason behind it, but for me, I just do better. And in a mile, I just love the mile, and for me it's sort of like a sprint combined with a mid-distance run, so it just works out better for me. So those are my best distances.
That's great. So a mile feels like a sprint to you. It feels like a marathon to me, but you're the runner and I'm not. Tell me about the feeling like when you're at the starting line and an event is about to begin and you're kind of in your zone and you're waiting for that starting gun to go off. What do you think about in those moments? What does that feel like to you?
So for me, when that happens, I always feel nervous, but I'm in my zone, and the only thing I think about is after the race, I win, or what it might feel like if I don't win, or what's going to happen for me during the race, because those are things that I do think about. And then interestingly enough, after the race, I don't even remember it.
You don't remember anything about the race after it's over?
No. I mean, unless
Wow.
I fall. Unless I fall.
So that's an interesting approach. And I would recommend, now that I know that that's what you do, only think positive thoughts. Think about what it's going to feel like when you win, right? Don't think about what it might feel like if you don't win. Because the funny thing about the brain, it doesn't know the difference between an actual experience and an experience that you imagine. It can't tell the difference. So if you only imagine yourself crossing the finish line first, that's going to happen more often than not, which it does for you anyway. So just a little tip there. Coaching corner with Coach Ken. We'll have a little interruption there. What has been the hardest thing about quarantine for you?
For me, the hardest thing, it's not being able to go to school and gain the interaction that I usually have with other people, and managing online school, which is so much different and time consuming and a little irritating. And then track, because at track, it would be so much better. You'd have the coaches there, or, even at Max Velocity, the interaction, it was just great. But now, because of quarantine, we're online, and the interaction, that's the hardest thing or the worst thing about being in quarantine, and that changed a lot of stuff.
Right, right. What do you miss the most about competing?
The most about competing?
Yeah, what do you miss? What do you miss the most about it?
I miss, when you're competing, there's pressure. It's something about your adrenaline, it's up in the air, and you're like, am I going to win? Am I going to lose? And then when the gun goes off, your heart stops for a second. I miss that.
Mm-hmm. That feeling of kind of adrenaline, that rush, right, of competing. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like you're where you need to be for when your competitions resume? Do you feel like you've done everything you can to stay sharp, or do you feel like it's going to be a tough adjustment to go back to that level of training and competition?
No, I feel that there's always room for improvement. However, I do feel that overall I've done enough as to where when we get back, my work during the quarantine is going to pay off and it's going to show. I think the only thing might be drinking a little bit more water. I think that's it.
Okay, that's always a good idea. What would you say is the academic accomplishment that you're most proud of? Because you have quite a few, as many, if not more, academic achievements as athletic ones.
Out of all of my academic achievements, my greatest one would be my math GPA, because I was a struggling student in math, and at PSMS 124, the teachers, I don't know how they do it, but they took me from a not so great student to an above 95 average student. So I feel that my math GPA, it's my greatest achievement because it's something that I had to work towards.
Do you find that the kind of work ethic and strategies that you apply to your training for track, do you kind of use some of those same tactics for academics, just in terms of the work ethic and the hard work and, not giving up?
Yes, because with academics as well as with track, you have to have the mentality that you can't give up. You have to have the mentality of only thinking positive things. Before a test, any state test, I always have to think positive thoughts, but also I have to study. It's the same thing. Preparation leads to success with both things. So yes.
So last question. If the world reopened tomorrow and went back to completely normal the way it was before, what's the first thing you would do?
I would probably get on a track and run. I haven't been on a track. I miss the feel of the rubber. I would probably get on the track and run.
And you would run fast, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes. I miss it. I miss it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be back. You will be back. congrats to you on all your achievements and for keeping a positive attitude and continuing to get your training in and doing your schoolwork and doing just the best that you can under the circumstances. That's all anybody can do. So you're doing a great job with it.
Thank you.
Autumn,
Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks for joining us on the Athlete Spotlight. You're amazing. And I can't wait until I can see you in the gym again. It's going to be amazing.
I miss max velocity.
Yeah, you'll be back. You'll be back. I promise. All right.
Thank you.
Take care, kiddo.